Well, hello everyone. Alejandro Tornato here, coming directly from Beaufort, Georgia. And I apologize, I am 10 minutes late. It's 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. I was supposed to be online at 9 o'clock. But I got a little bit delay. I was participating on a beautiful and wonderful mastermind group on the 15 invaluable laws of growth with a bunch of great leaders and great influencers. And we were talking about the law of consistency, and that was a great discussion for sure. But today, I want to share with you during this time about another law. You see, we are surrounded by laws. The law of gravity, the law of so many things, okay? The law of intentionality and consistency. But then there is the law of influence. And the true measure of leadership is influence. If you ever heard or read some of John Maxwell's books, you are familiar with the statement that it is just something that when you hear this statement, you associate immediately with John Maxwell. And John Maxwell says, what is leadership? Well, leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. True leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned. It comes only from influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. So many leaders today, they truly believe that leadership is something that it's inherent in a title. It's inherent in a sign outside of their office door that says VP of Engineering or VP of Operations or whatever the title may be. And so they think that just because they got that title, they are entitled to the name leader. And some of these people, they are so far away from true leadership because everything is in the title. Now, leadership, if you heard of the 5 levels of leadership, and John Maxwell does a great job of analyzing and expanding on each level of leadership. And of course, the very basic level of leadership is that entitlement that people think that just because you get a title, then automatically you become a leader. And John Maxwell has been teaching leadership and being a leader for 40 plus years, and yet he is learning more about leadership every single day. And how is that coming about? And John Maxwell, it doesn't have a title, but what it has is the experience of dealing and being in leadership and being immersed in leadership and making decisions in leadership for 40 years. And so that is not something that was given to him, but it was something that he earned. Now, the proof of leadership is found in the followers. So why do some people emerge as leaders while others can't influence no matter how hard they try? The reason is there are several factors that come into play for that. Number one is character. Character. Who they are. You see, character is something that is very important when it comes to leadership. Well, I think that character is very important. As a human being, your character really, defines you, who you are. What is your character? What is your character when everything is smooth sailing? And what is your character when things get rough and choppy? And you should have the same character. No matter what, your character is solid, or at least it should be solid. Now, number two, relationships. Who they know. Relationships. Who they know. Number three, knowledge. What they know. Number four, intuition. What they feel. What they feel. Number five, experience. Where they've been. What they have done in the past that will help them in doing the job that they're currently doing better because of that past experience that they have on their shoulders. Number six, past success, what they've done. And when we're talking about past success, I think that we also need to talk about past failures, because I do believe that we learned much more out of the failures that we have done, because, and this is only if once you failed in the past, you looked at that failure and you learned, when you begin reflecting and when you begin analyzing that failure and you begin looking at the areas that were points that took you to that failure, if you learn the lessons from those failures in the past, and not only you contemplated them, but you learned from those, so you can be careful in the things that you're doing right now so you don't commit the same mistakes. Now, you may commit different mistakes and you will learn from those, but you will never repeat mistakes that you have already done in the past. And that is crucial. That is essential, because we ought to be always learning and improving. And number seven, ability. What they can do. Your ability. Your skill set. Now, for leadership, even though skill set is important, and all of these elements that I just mentioned are very important, but I think that the ability, not only on what you can do, let's say from a technical standpoint, but also from an EQ standpoint, from a people's perspective. How do you get along with people? How do you do with people? What kinds of people's skills do you have? Because when it comes to leadership, leadership is very heavy on people's skills and on dealing with people. And if you're not good with people, or you don't like people, or you don't like to deal with people, then either leadership is going to be a very difficult thing for you to do, or you are going to have to master those people's skills and get better at it. And everybody can do it. It's not rocket science, but it takes intentionality and it takes determination to do it. So let me share with you what is called the leadership proverb that says this. It says, "He who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk." Let me say that again for you. He who thinks he leads, or she who thinks she leads, but has no followers. You see, when they turned around, no one is following them, then they're not leading. They're just going for a walk. If you cannot influence people, then they will not follow you. And if people won't follow, you are not a leader. So, leadership, my friends, is influence. It is influence. And when people begin to look at your character, begin to look at the relationships that you have, the knowledge that you have, the intuition that you have, or that you display, the experience that you have, the past success and the past failures that you had, and the ability that you have. And they begin to put their trust on you to lead them, to be opened, not to be perfect, because no leader, it doesn't matter how many years in leadership they have, no leader is perfect. But if you are determined to lead, and you gained the trustworthiness of people, and they see in you someone vulnerable, someone open, someone who understands and who listens, and someone who, when making mistakes, will acknowledge those mistakes and will apologize and continue, then you can call yourself a leader. And when people follow you, then you are a leader, not just taking a walk. So, the law of influence. It was great sharing this content with you, and it's always a pleasure to be teaching, to be sharing content. You know, it's amazing. I mean, how when I look back on when I truly discovered my bent, when I truly discovered my purpose, my passion, my mission in life, my why of teaching, of helping other people become their very best selves. There is a remarkable change that happens in a person's life. It certainly did to me. But once you found that, and you begin taking that road, and you begin walking, so many magical things happen, and so many doors open, and so many opportunities, and so many people that we meet, and especially even now, in a virtual world, but people that I collaborate with, and people that I get to meet and I get to know, and people who refer me other people for me to get to know them and connect with them. Is just absolutely, I mean, it blows my mind, and it's a great experience. I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you so very much. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope that this teaching on the law of influence has been of value to you. That is my desire. If you want to contact me directly, there is my website, alejandrojtornato.com, alejandrojtornato.com. If you want to connect with me on social media, go to Facebook, and you just go to my profile or my page, No Limits Living, my Facebook group, Conversations with Influencers, and remember that on September 26th, Saturday, September 26th, I'll be doing a workshop, a virtual workshop with a dear friend and colleague from London, the United Kingdom, Sandy Gill. And we are going to be talking about communication and leadership in the post-pandemic era. All the information is on my page, on my profile. Go and click the link and register for that workshop. It's going to be great. You are going to not only enjoy it, but you will get a lot out of the content that we will be sharing at that workshop. So check it out. Tickets are going fast, so make sure that you grab yours as soon as possible. And we made it very, very affordable to everyone, because we don't want price to come between and to keep people from registering. So go check it out and register. And I know that Sandy and myself, we both will love for you to join us on September 26th. So thank you very much. And as I always remind you, to live every moment, be resilient, and also be kind, be passionate, be intentional. And remember that we were not designed with any limitations. So live your days to the fullest of your ability and potential, and make every single day a limitless experience. And until the next time that we meet, all the very best, and be well.